The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.
We're so pleased to have back on the show an incredible singer, songwriter, guitarist, producer, and also a guitar teacher, my buddy, Corey Congilio. Good to see you.
Good to be back.
So it's like, I got to tell you, Corey, you and I bumped into each other at a music store, go figure, in Nashville. And you were like, I got big news coming. I didn't realize it was going to be new solo music.
Right, I know it wasn't a story about, hey, I'm playing with this artist or I'm doing a guitar clinic for this company.
Right.
It's like, no, I have my own thing going on, and I want you to be one of the first people that knows about it.
Well, I got to tell you, the new single, which came out in February, She's Like the Weather.
Yep.
I love the song and the music video. And so I understand now you're kind of working as a side hustle doing weatherman stuff.
Well, the video would portray that for sure. And it was like kind of my acting debut, but yeah, we green screen and the whole 9 yards.
You did great with it.
So I'm going to go over there later and just we'll test it out.
I'm actually worried about my job now because I've seen your videos with the gear reviews and your tutorials and everything. But I think it's so neat that at this time you kind of make this leap with your solo career, where you've been a sideman for incredible artists, Joss Stone, Radney Foster, the list goes on and on, plus a session musician.
Yeah.
Since you moved here to Nashville back in 2012.
Right.
But now kind of spreading your wings in a whole new area.
Well, it just felt like it was the right time. So much happened to musicians all over the world, but particularly in Nashville, when the pandemic hit, everybody started retooling.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to have my sights set on actually releasing some music. And here we are.
Well, and I've got to brag about this too, Corey. You and I have known each other for so many years, but it's like you've always had solo music. But typically, the shows you've done backing other major artists, and even the shows you've played around town and through the U.S. have been more cover music, but you've always blended in a few of your originals.
Sure. Yeah.
And so now you're getting to showcase that.
Right.
And so you're going to be dropping a new single every 6 weeks? Yeah,
and we're kind of doing this interesting strategy where it's going to be my original songs that I'm largely the only writer on. That's another thing you don't do a lot in Nashville. Write your own. It's a lot of co-writing, but with me, I've written 99% of all the music myself.
And also very bluesy. I can hear your influences over the years.
But one thing I also did, I started a project a few years ago that has not seen the light of day, where I took some of my favorite blues covers and started reworking them in some different ways. Because my audience from online teaching and presenting and stuff, they know that that's my heart and soul is in the traditional blues realm, but I want to evolve too. So
we all do.
Yeah, so that's where some of those songs will be coming out in addition to my original music.
Right. Well, and also this is going to be combined into like an EP, an album eventually. And you got to do this first single in a cool studio with kind of a well-known drummer.
Yeah, so my friend Adam Box is the drummer for the Grammy Award-winning band Brothers Osborne. And I have a connection with them from playing with the artist Lucy Silvis. Lucy's married to John Osborne. It's a really wonderful relationship and marriage of all friendships in this thing.
Right.
And I love their first record, and I said, Adam, I need to make this song fun and quirky. Let's think about where the space you were at when you made the first record with Brothers Osborne, with the producer Jay Joyce, who always has amazing ear candy going on. So I said, let's take it into that realm, and he did it really, really well for me.
Well, I think it showcased your skills so well, and once again, having seen you perform live anyway, but I got to bring this up. You have a huge following on social media and on YouTube. I think over 105,000 subscribers on YouTube. And so in your spare time also, you teach people guitar, which I've sent people to you, and you've got workingclassguitar.com.
That's right, yeah.
Where you've got like all your teaching and videos and everything now. Yeah,
so basically that is my one-stop company outside of CoreyCongilio.com land, where people can come and, purchase courses. We have memberships, we have monthly Zoom calls, we have a community that we've built for our users where they can kind of interact with each other, post videos of themselves. I get in there and I critique and say, oh, you're doing great, keep at it. Maybe work on that, lick a little bit more here or there. So it's been a slow build. It'll be 3 years old probably by the time people see this. Wow. So yeah, it's been a a fun journey to actually start a business
Right.
outside of my own personal music business.
And your gear reviews also. I always like that when you have the pedals and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and you're showcasing those in your studio.
I always try to make those educational too. It's not about, hey, look how flashy I can play and make this sound. It's how will this work for you?
Right.
And I found that that's really endeared people to my style of presenting. You know, because I think being a musician in this day and age, you have to be a jack of all trades more than ever.
Right.
So I learned how to talk on camera and edit a video and do all that stuff. You know, I've had good help and encouragement from people like you.
Well,
so.
I'll tell you what, you know, it's amazing too, you know, starting out playing so young, doing saxophone,
Yeah.
and then coming from a family of musicians
Right.
where you had to save pennies to get your first guitar.
So then you've read the info.
You know, it really,
You got it,
I
buddy.
think it goes deeper though then, because it shows your love of the instrument, Corey. And
Yeah.
certainly when you and I have jammed and hung out and I've come to see you play live, you know, you can tell your love of the instrument and the music. So when I saw that you had original songs coming out, didn't surprise me. Seems like a logical progression with everything else. And once again, you've played, you know, clinics for multiple guitar
Yeah.
companies and everything else, and still do when you
Yeah.
get the call. But now it's like going in that whole singer-songwriter realm.
Exactly, and some will be watching this saying, "Well, it took you long enough," you know, because what the whole thing was is that my dream was to be, you know, the Mike Campbell to the Tom Petty,
Right.
or you know, any number of guitar players that had one foot in the spotlight. You know what I mean? And Richie Sambora to Bon Jovi, whoever,
Right.
you know. And then as the music industry has evolved or devolved in some ways, you know, I got to take it all under control. You know,
Right.
take the wheel on all of it and see. Let's put music out. Let's play my own shows, and it's all super challenging, and it costs a lot of money to do. But I'm treating it like a how can I say this? A prioritized habit, you know, or hobby.
Yeah, but I think it's so much more than that, because you're such a gifted artist, and I think it makes the progress make sense to me, Corey. You know, just with everything that you've done musically in your life and career, and certainly the great musicians you've toured with,
Yeah.
and backed up and supported and played on their albums. Now it's like you're playing on Corey Congilio's.
Yeah, I mean, when I would hear the evolution of an artist that I played with, and I'm like, wow, they've had a lot of time to do that because that was their singular focus.
Right.
Now I'm kind of like, I'm at the starting blocks, and I'm getting to develop. I'm just writing and recording anything. It doesn't have to sound like any particular genre, although I'm like a blues rock guy at heart. I love songwriters, and I love pop artists, and I love rock artists, and all that's kind of coming out. So, and I'm just letting it. I'm not putting any, you know, constraints on my creativity.
Well, and I want to make sure for our viewers, Corey, so that they know for the website, social media, everything, with the past single that's already out, but also the future singles,
Yeah.
you know, where they need to go to keep up with this, to get the music and to come see you live.
Yeah, so you'll be able to find all that at CoreyCongilio.com. And there's links to Working Class Guitar from there as well. So they kind of feed off of each other.
And possibly there'll be some rain jackets and umbrellas offered also with Corey Congilio on there to go along with the song and the video.
A little bit of branding never hurt anybody, I guess.
Well, it's a great song, I tell you what. Be sure and check out Corey's music, and I'm sure it's going to be on all music platforms. When he releases this in EP or album form, I hope he does it on vinyl also, because he's such an amazing guitarist, but you're going to see what a great vocalist and songwriter he is too. Corey Congilio, She's Like the Weather is out now with more songs coming. Thanks for joining
Thanks,
me.
Eric.
The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.